we were talking about this earlier. They're looking now to control the media. I sent this clip to you the other day. I don't know if you saw it, but this was the end of 60 Minutes the other day. And this is extremely concerning. The executive producer of 60 Minutes quit the show because he knows what is coming. Apparently, Paramount is looking to do some kind of merger. This needs to be approved by the administration. And because the administration is involved, that means there's certainly going to be some kind of quid pro quo here, and the executive producer wasn't having it. This is how Scott Pelley described the exit of the executive producer at the end of 60 Minutes the other night, and this is very concerning.
A note on Bill Owens, who until this past week was executive producer of 60 Minutes. He was our boss. Bill was with CBS News nearly 40 years. 26 years at 60 Minutes. He covered the world, covered combat, the White House. His was a quest to open minds, not close them. If you've ever worked hard for a boss because you admired him, then you understand what we've enjoyed here. Bill resigned Tuesday. It was hard on him and hard on us, but he did it for us and you. Stories we pursued for 57 years are often controversial. Lately, the Israel-Gaza war and the Trump administration. Bill made sure they were accurate and fair. He was tough that way. But our parent company, Paramount, is trying to complete a merger. The Trump administration must approve it. Paramount began to supervise our content in new ways. None of our stories has been blocked, but Bill felt he lost the independence that honest journalism requires. No one here is happy about it, but in resigning, Bill proved one thing. He was the right person to lead 60 Minutes all along.
You know, professional journalism is one of the greatest institutions that this country has ever seen. They have done things that sometimes even the professional departments of justice cannot do. They will go to the ends of the earth to get to the bottom of any story that could have any effect on the American people, regardless of party. They don't give a shit. They will go and do the investigation almost better than any investigator can do it. And journalists like 60 Minutes and other journalists around the country, independent journalists, they are heroes in this country and should be looked upon as heroes in this country. But now our journalists, Lana, are Joe Rogan and Andrew Schultz and idiots like this, where people are going to get their political news from, even though these are not political journalists. They probably couldn't even spell politics. And it's very sad that the 60 Minutes of the world is not even being drowned out. They are being choked out until they are absolutely no longer alive. And this is scary, scary shit. And there needs to be done something about it. You know, I was thinking on the way home, Lana, I think the Democrats need to start writing up. They need to start writing up a 900-page document of Project 2026 or at least Project 2028. They need to come up with their own sort of project and spell out for the American people, this is why this is bad. This is what we're going to do about it. And here are the better things for you in this country and how we're going to do it, and get out there and continue to talk about it over and over and over again. I still see this party still doing this kind of infighting. You see this David Hogg guy going in and trying to mix things up with the Democratic Party, which part of it I get. But again, the right is on message constantly. They do not get off message. We get off message way too much. We're too frazzled. And if we continue down this path, they're just going to keep bullying forward, and there's not going to be anything that we can do about it.
So I used to agree with that prior to the election, but I'm going to give them some time because it's only 100 days. You're not going to find a new leader in 100 days for the Democratic Party. Like, you're just not. It is going to take some time I don't know if this is infighting. I just feel like I've never liked David Hogue or whatever, Hogg, however you say his name. Like, I don't like it. And I don't like what he brings. That he is problematic to me.
Yeah.
So like that's a problem. And I think we were talking about it, like what's his name needs to just put his foot down and stop it so that can't be a distraction, which I don't even know if it's really a distraction because not too many people are talking about it. I think there was a misstep. So like I give them some time to pull it together because we also don't. It's funny. Donald Trump is ruining the government in this 100 days. Like the economy is shit. His supporters are like, well, we're still gonna give him some time, right? We're like, I get there. So I think we're gonna get there. Like I really think we're doing what we need to do. You got AOC, you got Bernie,
Yep.
You got Hakeem and Cory Booker stepping up. Like, so they're doing the things, right? Because
Jasmine Crockett.
Right. There's only so much we can do, right? We're not going to pass any bills, right? We can't.
Yep.
There's things we can't do. The only thing that we can do is do things that say, hey, look over here, right? Like, that's all we can do at this point. What I did not like that did happen, and I'm like, did he have to ask anyone to do this? Whatever the fuck that guy's name that drew up those impeachment papers.
She, she or something. It was something like that.
Yeah, it's like, why did you do that? Like, that's why Democrats didn't talk about it, because they're like, we're staying away from this. That's a distraction. Because guess what Donald Trump did when I was listening to him in Michigan? I don't know who this lawmaker is. Did you hear about him? His name is Shah or somebody. He wants to impeach me. They want to impeach me again. Democrats don't have no leader. They still try, right? So he's using that as fuel once again, and it's like, he is not going to be impeached. Why the fuck are you doing that? Like that's just a waste of paper. Why did you do that to paper? Why did you do that?
Well, I think it's certainly a waste of paper if you know you don't have the votes. That's certainly number one. But and that may be just an attention getting, because sometimes people like to get attention, but
it gives him that.
But I did hear somebody say that, and it was, I can't remember who it was, and it sucks, but it was somebody that I trust that knows government, and said that if they somehow can impeach him, even if they don't get the conviction, that means something. And it means holding him up, being able to do some of the things that he's able to do because he's too tied up in the impeachment stuff. And again, I'm not even going to pretend to know the more ins about it. I did hear somebody say it, and I'd have to maybe go back and see exactly what
But you need votes.
Well, you need, but what they're saying is because they're so close in the House that all they need is
they're not going to get one.
Well, I agree. But what I'm saying is if they could find a way to get a couple of the people in the House, then do it. And they were saying how it would be beneficial. And I apologize. I don't remember how they said how it would be beneficial. But
I think it's bad. I think it's a bad idea. Like, it's just too many directions. There's too many directions. We have to focus on the elections that are coming and getting a leader. How are we talking about impeachment? Whatever, even if it could, when we're still trying to work on like who our leader is going to be, like what's going on here? Like, why would we introduce this when we're not completely on same pages and with the same talking points yet? Like, I don't know. It seems like you're doing too much. Sometimes when you're doing too much, it's all you're doing is helping him get attention away from what the fuck we should be talking about, which is fucking tariffs and the economy.
Well, I agree. And that's what they need to strategize on is what they need to do better to help win 2026. I will be honest, too. I am still freaked out. And I think it is a legitimate freak out that they are going to find a way to make sure that they do not lose the 2026 elections. How they're going to do it? They're strategizing it. I can absolutely promise you that. They are not just going to sit back and wait to see what happens. That's not happening. They are going to put in as many loopholes, they're going to put in as many laws as they possibly can to make sure that they do not lose the House, they do not lose the Senate in 2026. And I hope that the Democrats prepare themselves for that, because unfortunately, not the only, but the worst thing that I can say about the Democrats is they never prepared for the worst. They always hoped for the best. Yeah. That was it. You hope for the best, but they did not prepare for the worst. And that's why we're at where we're at. And there's a good possibility in my lifetime, in your lifetime, we may never escape this unless there is an uprising like we've never seen before.